What's up,
Hey, we're
Brad?
live. Hey, how are
And we
you?
are live.
All right, very good.
So this is a first for both of us. This is the
It
first time
is.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm doing an interview, and I've got Brad, who's all the way in the States. He's up at 3 a.m. So thank you for the initiative.
Yeah, no
Um,
problem. Pays
and
off to be a night owl finally. So it's good.
yeah, and it's crazy because I saw your work on YouTube and I was super impressed. Like just the quality of work. I was just telling you earlier. I'm just gonna quickly check if I'm live on Facebook just to make sure
Okay.
the video quality. Yeah, I was just telling you. Yeah, that's how unprofessional I am. Just making
No,
sure
it looks good
everything.
actually. It looks nice. Yeah.
So, first of all, we haven't really talked. I literally sent you an email. You replied. I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, that's cool. Someone's able
Yeah.
to reply." Uh, Super professional looking work. I'll pop up your
Thanks.
thumbnails and your videos later. You did a video. Let me try to pop up a screenshot. Yeah. So you got 3,800 views. You did this 2 weeks ago. I really liked the content. It was super. Uh, it was good. It was snappy. 5 minutes. Got to the point. Got what I wanted out of it, and I'm sure a lot of people felt the same because that's the amount of views you got for the video. And I think it's probably your best uh, video out, I guess.
I think so.
Um,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So I know that we're getting a little bit too quick on this part of things, so maybe let's start out with how did you start? I mean, how basically are you a videographer? Are you a cinematographer? What do you do actually in the U.S.
In the real life, in the
in
real
the real
world.
life?
Yeah. 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 I am. I'm a freelance videographer. So I actually do
Awesome,
mostly
awesome.
product stuff, a lot of news,
Okay.
and I've been doing it a long time. I actually went to school for this too.
Oh wow. Okay,
That's
that's
exciting.
cool.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, uh, I basically did a multimedia arts course. So I'm half Indian, half Filipino, which is why I look a
Cool.
little bit different. And I really didn't like video. I was doing a lot of graphic design, and then I got tired of that. Started learning on Linda, if you knew what that was. It was basically LinkedIn Learning, but back in the day.
No.
And then I just kept learning how to edit, uh, and then yeah, instead of being a graphic designer at work, I was pretending to work, but actually learn how to video edit. And then
You're learning how to
slowly,
video edit at night.
yeah. And then I would basically I got my wife who basically got me a Nikon camera. Started off with that. Got a 3200 or 3300. Just literally learning how to focus. Uh, Now we got all these crazy Sony cameras and Canon and
Yeah.
whatnot. Um, so
What are
yeah,
you using right
just
now? It looks very nice. Whatever you're using right now looks very
it's
nice.
it's my it's my fancy camera. It's my very fancy.
Okay. All right.
It's I got the Sony FX3, and then I actually was watching so not Peter McKinnon but another guy. His name he's Peter from Sweden,
Mm-hmm.
Peter Lindgren,
Mm-hmm.
and he got this what do you call a filter. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
been testing that out. So I'm
Okay.
actually at ISO 12,800,
Oh wow.
and I'm just like, okay, so I
Yeah.
can just do this, and I mean, it's for a live stream.
With
Like,
your
why
ND
not?
filter.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and because you could get the FX6, which is huge, but
It is. Yeah.
I did not want a FX6 because it's big. I couldn't put it on a
Yeah.
gimbal,
Yeah.
uh,
It's hard
and
to.
it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, but the way you set up things, man. I'm
Well,
like,
so right now I'm at home. This is not my studio. So I
okay,
have an old GH4 I'm using right now that
nice, nice,
mostly used to work out uh, over here. So not usually film. But
okay,
yeah, I actually primarily have used the Sony A7S III, so pretty much the same camera for my
nice.
stuff. So yeah,
Yeah. Are you a hybrid shooter? Like, do you do photos? Do you do a mix for your clients?
I do, but I'm mostly on the video side. I went to school for
Okay,
video. I actually learned how to film on a 16 millimeter camera. That's how old I am.
okay,
So I lean towards video. But yeah, it's nice
nice,
to have the capabilities in these. Actually, I have mine right here. I was just using it.
nice, nice. Yeah, I noticed like your videos get really technical. Like you did a video. Let me try to pull up your page again, where yeah, about histograms. I
Yeah.
I'm bad at all this stuff. Like
Well, I
I'll
have a
look.
that
Yeah.
was that my first one. I don't know. I have a friend who had a camera that was collecting dust, and he had asked me how do you get exposure, and I just that's
Mm.
kind of what started me down this rabbit hole. So I just thought, let me shoot this video.
Yeah,
There's a
like just
lot
set it
more
off.
technical
Like
videos out there.
stop annoying me.
Yeah,
Just make a.
that's right. Yeah, just watch this. Yeah,
That's funny because
yeah.
so I work for a media publisher here in Dubai,
Oh,
and
cool.
it's come to it's kind of like a BuzzFeed slash whatever. I'm just thinking of other names that are stateside, maybe like a complex, but obviously
Yeah.
on a
Okay.
very small scale. So we do a lot of. I mean, I'm pretty much a one man show. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah.
Um,
Very much. Yeah.
and then it's come to a point where I'm just like I can't keep talking to interns and people like
Yeah.
um, so I now it's come to a point where look here's the so I don't know if you've heard of Loom.com. I'll try to pull it up. Very
Okay.
cool. Um, and what they do is it's kind of like what we're doing now, but it's like you can populate your Loom account with different tutorials, and I think it's more about what's the word to use for like companies who want to train their staff and stuff, and like so as you can see, like there's a girl, she's talking, and then you show whatever you need to show, and so like I've got videos like teaching interns like, okay, this is how you use subtitles now on Premiere Pro. This is how you, uh, I don't know, whatever, make auto reframe on Premiere Pro, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting because I mean everything's becoming cloud based, as you probably know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so it's for me, I love to try to do what you're doing, which is create really cinematic, high-end looking videos for YouTube. But at the same time, what I'm seeing now is everyone's super quick. Like the A7 IV
That's the
came
hard
out.
thing.
Yeah,
I know. Yesterday was it? Yeah, something like that.
yeah,
Yeah. There's
yeah.
500 videos already. Yeah.
Five exactly. So
It's
I'm
hard to
just
compete with people who do this full time.
true
It's hard to pump out the amount of
the
videos they do
content.
because for me, I can only do it in my free time, and it takes me like two
Yeah,
weeks to do one of these. So right now,
exactly.
not
Props to
3 a
you.
week. Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously, like I just like because I think that's what a lot of people don't get because obviously the average viewer they're looking at it like, oh, should I get a GoPro? Cool, and they see your video, for example, and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
this is yeah, I'm gonna buy it now, which is great. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like they don't really understand the back end of how much time it really takes and
Yeah.
the level
Yeah.
of detail. So yeah, I see some of these guys, including yourself. But my thing right now is uh, how to get it out quick. In
Yeah.
this case, what we're doing now. So
Yeah.
like doing interview, and
Live
then
is way quick. Yeah. Yeah.
live is quick.
Yeah.
And what I think a lot of creators are doing, actually, it's the platforms themselves that are trying to bust out
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
content. So
Mhm.
so now, for example, when I do this live stream with you, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it up in YouTube Studio, and I'll take like the best question and answer, and then now I've got a video for the day.
Maybe a couple.
So
Yeah.
exactly, you
Yeah.
know. So
That's a good idea.
yeah, so uh, and everyone's trying to do that. You can go into Facebook Studio, cut it up.
Mhm.
You can go into
Yeah.
Twitter, cut it up. So will it get monetized? Well, I'm not monetized yet, but
Yeah.
my whole thing is okay. I see a bunch of these guys doing it. There's no way I can compete with Gerald Undone,
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
art now.
Mhm.
There's a guy in Alaska named Jake Sloan. Amazing videos. I just watched a video
Yeah.
of his talking about a Sony lens, a Tamron
Okay.
11 to 20, and I was
Mhm.
like, this guy's got like he just
They're,
explained
yeah,
everything
pretty
in
impressive.
8 minutes. So I'm like, am I gonna be able to do that? Probably not. So I'm trying to test out things now, like what I'm doing with you, trying to see if I could just do news stuff, because like I can't get an A7 IV. No one's gonna give me an A7 IV in
Yeah.
Dubai at least, uh, unless you buy it and then you know
Right.
unbox it, talk about it.
Right.
Like by the
Yeah.
time I
You have to
get
have
it,
other purposes for it, not to just, make a
yeah,
video about it. You're not going to buy it for
exactly,
one video. So, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So it's changing, like how content is being created. Like I would love
Yeah.
to be like a Matty Hapage.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Hapoya. He's crazy.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
He's crazy.
The one skill of
Um,
his that I do wish I had, and I think I'm going to try is
mhm.
learning how to fly the FPVs. I think
I'm
that's
scared.
very cool that he does that.
I'm
Yeah,
scared.
me too. Me too. Yeah, me too. In an empty field
I'm,
somewhere, But
Hey, Maddie, if you're listening, you want to help us?
yeah,
Just like give out
yeah,
free drones to everyone.
hmm
Be a
yeah,
Mr. Beast
yeah,
for
yeah. There
video
you go.
creators.
I'll go to Canada to hang out with you if you want. Sure.
Oh, so
Yeah.
we completely got off topic. Um, so how did you start? You started with the 16 what do you call film? I'm guessing film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then what happened after that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think like a lot of people, I really started as a kid. Like I was just really into it. We did tons of videos with my friends and all sorts of terrible things to look at now. And in high school, every opportunity I had to turn a project into a video project, I did. And so I've been doing it pretty much since I can remember. But yeah, I went to school for it. And then after that, I actually lived in Los Angeles for a time and worked
Oh
at
wow,
Universal Studios.
wow,
Um,
nice.
and then came back here. I'm in Chicago,
Okay,
and I've been doing my own thing for 11 years, I want to say. So a little while
okay.
now.
So you're from Chicago.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you went to LA because you wanted to, the stars and all
Well,
that.
yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah,
ended up being not for me in terms of, I don't know, the city and just
right.
the atmosphere and stuff, but um, it was a lot of fun, and I did learn a lot about the process, the backstage process. I was mostly a
Right.
reader, so I read like, I don't know, hundreds of scripts while I was there a
Wow.
day. Like just that's all I did. It was just every day, just read, read, read. So, but I
Okay.
got to be on a lot of backlots and see the process from behind the camera, and so yeah, it was cool.
Interesting. Uh, I mean, Dubai is really trying to do that now in terms of bring
Yeah,
big artists.
yeah,
It's mainly government though, in terms of like Dubai tourism giving out, hey, look, we'll get Zac Efron, we'll get
yeah,
Jessica Alba, and we'll do some crazy stuff because of Expo 2020. So obviously
yeah,
everyone's here for that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, unfortunately, we don't have the um, the local artists or the local film industry, which is kind of
Yeah,
missing. Of course, there's Arabic
definitely.
content,
Yeah,
but there's no actual support. There used to be a film festival a few years ago that kind of just went dead,
okay.
uh, and then you've got the Arab YouTubers here, but it's most of it is really like a vlogger or like
Yeah.
what do you call, like skits, like a
Oh,
content
like,
creator, kind of like Mr. Beast,
okay.
Arab style.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a guy named Money Kicks, but now he's into boxing. So he recently
Okay.
had so the whole Logan Paul thing
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah.
with
Yeah, there's an interesting crossover with boxing for some reason.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane what's happening right now. The event was called Social Knockout. I had to go for that for work related things like interviews and stuff. But it's crazy to see how just social media and YouTubers making a lot of money off
Yeah, some of
just,
them. Yeah.
it's not even like cinematic stuff. It's literally like
No. No.
looking at Mr. Beast and Airrack and all these
Yeah.
big dudes with more of storytelling, but
Yeah.
for kids, to be honest, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
a 36-year-old, 35-year-old. I don't really look at Logan Paul or
Yeah. Me
Airrack,
neither. Yeah.
like
I
it's
know.
not really my thing.
Right.
So
It's
it's
great
it's
that
a
they can do that, but
yeah,
that's not my thing either. Yeah.
exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a weird one for me because I'm kind of like, do I want to create stuff like that? Do I want to be the dude trying to get that clickbait title and thumbnail
Yeah.
and not really.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Same.
let me let
Yeah.
let me go on to the next question. So why did you
Okay.
start a YouTube
Yeah.
channel?
I think I got tired of filming one too many trash cans in my rooms, and I don't know. And I just thought I just wanted to do something for myself, and so yeah, that's really what started it. I was doing another trash can. I had done 3 commercials for trash cans in a row, and I was like, wow, I feel like I've
Wow,
seen it all in terms of trash cans now. So uh, that's really what sparked it, honestly.
wow.
Because I felt
So
like
the
I'd gone so many years without. When I first started doing stuff when I was younger, I was doing a lot of stuff for myself.
right.
Just learning and stuff, and that was a lot of fun. It was some of the
Mm,
most fun I've ever had. So I felt like it had been too long since I had done that. So I wanted to get back to just doing things for myself. So because
nice.
just like any job, when you really just get into that grind, that repeatable grind,
For
it can be
sure.
a bit of a bummer. So
Oh, for
that's why
sure.
it started. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Uh,
did the first one. I was like, wow, this is actually fun. Let me keep doing this. So, you know,
Yeah, for sure. I completely you know feel the same way. I've been with my company for like 3.5 years now. Uh, like any company, um, you go onto this kind of plateau where you're like, oh, that was awesome.
yeah, yeah,
I've done interviews with One Republic. I've interviewed some other people because of this job.
mm-hmm,
Gone to cool places and hotels and this and that.
yeah,
But eventually, it comes to a point where you're like, hey, and then you question like, is this really what I want to do? Is this why I
yeah,
started?
yeah,
Um, and I'm actually going in pretty much in the same uh, thing where I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel. Like even I remember my brother going to my brother's house and he's like, "Hey, check out this guy on YouTube." And we were just watching Casey. This is like 5, 6 years ago,
yeah,
and I was like, "Wow, this is the
mm-hmm,
coolest thing ever." This guy's on a skateboard, you know, vlogging in the streets of
yeah,
New York.
Right.
You
It looks
look
very
at it
dangerous,
now.
by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks extremely dangerous. Yeah.
But
I don't know
it's
how
crazy
people do
because
that either.
exactly, you look at it now and you're like, he was crazy. Like
Yeah.
literally, no one does
Weaving
that.
in and out
Like
of traffic.
no one
Yeah.
does that. And he would start doing like drone shots, and you're
Hmm.
like, oh yeah, 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 I'm gonna do that. Like, no, you
Yeah.
can't. Like,
No,
you
I mean,
don't.
legally, you can't even do that anymore. Like, especially
Yeah,
in New York City here, you get a fifteen
right.
hundred dollar fine. So
Wow, wow. Yeah, it's same with Dubai. Like, you can't just pull up.
yeah.
I've got a Mavic Air 2.
Okay.
I basically go to the smaller. We don't call them states here. We call them emirates.
Hmm.
So Dubai is the main emirate, and then you've got like Fujairah, you've got Ajman. So these are like really small provinces or states here where you have the app, and you basically make sure you don't fly in the red zone. So that's what I do,
Yeah.
um, and it's fun because I've got a 5-year-old kid. I want to go show him, other places. Think we have an issue with audio. Hang on.
Oh, we're
Okay,
back.
it's fine. We're back.
You know what
All
happens
right.
here sometimes at this hour? It's 3:19 here. For some reason, my cable. That's when they decide to do the repairs. So every once in a while, it skips out. So if that happens again, it's probably on my end.
It's
But
fine.
we should be
It's
okay.
fine.
I noticed that
Uh,
though. It's always around this time.
no
Yeah.
worries. It's like every even my internet's pretty bad. But it's all good. I'm pretty much gonna cut this up after the live is done. To be honest, no one's watching, but to me, it's more
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I
look,
wouldn't expect it. Yeah.
get it out, uh, and that could probably lead me to what's happening right now, because even the company I work for, we're not big on YouTube. We're big on other platforms.
Hmm.
So, for example, we make a lot of money on Snapchat because Snapchat is big in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So,
It
you
is.
know,
It is very
uh,
much so. I do actually. My cousin was one of the first employees of Snap. Snap,
Snapchat,
as they're
right?
called now.
Snap. Okay.
And she told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
they're huge
It's
there. Yeah.
it's crazy. So it's so hard for me. Like, I was on Snapchat earlier today, and I'm like, I just don't get it. Like, I'm just looking at my phone, and I'm like, yeah, like I can't, I can't like use it. Um, just being old, and
Yeah.
but it's crazy. Like there's, so I was like just on YouTube, uh, learning a bit about it, and how like basically they have like a pool of money where they give creators, and it's a very
Yeah.
different way of giving money to creators. Uh, and that's why I like YouTube, because it's very straightforward. It's just black and white.
Mm.
This is how much ad revenue you get. Here's the
Yeah.
analytics page.
Yeah.
You do more of
Mm.
this happens. Uh, that's why I like.
I also feel like maybe I'm wrong here, but I also feel like it's the
Mm,
most adult of the platforms, perhaps.
yeah.
That's how it
So
feels to me. There's
yeah,
a bunch of non-adult things, but
yeah,
compared to I don't know, Snap and Instagram and
yeah.
TikTok, this tends to skew older. I feel like, but I don't know.
True, true. Um, yeah, and my next point is, I think what's happening right now, even because of what my company is doing, we've built a brand, or my boss has built a brand, which is OTT, kind of like a Netflix or
Okay.
uh, Disney Plus, or and
Hmm.
that's really becoming a huge thing right now. Where even if you're a small guy, if you think about it, you
Hmm.
could literally at home make your own OTT platform, because all you need is to go live, like on Twitch,
Yeah.
have a bunch of subscribers. Uh,
Yeah.
if you're smart enough, you pay someone in the States or India or Egypt or wherever you are.
Hmm.
If you have a bit of background in terms of programming and all that, uh, so you understand what they're doing, you can literally just like what we're doing right now could be a show, it could be a
Yeah.
podcast, you
Yeah.
know, and then if I have
Yeah.
that as
Yeah. For sure.
like imagine you're on, instead of Netflix, it's called whatever, the Brad fix, I don't know, and then you have like thumbnails of like, okay, Brad interviews, and then whatever, Brad cooks, Brad whatever, and you literally have a website with a bunch of shows and programmatic ads. So kind of
Yeah.
like what
Yeah.
YouTube is doing with, you can, instead of skipping ads, you of course you need to know about programming and it's a lot of work, but technically you
Well,
could you
you
could
could pay programmers to do it for you technically, but
yeah.
yes. Yeah. It's true.
Um, so it's very interesting to see where it's going, and all these smaller. I
Yeah.
mean, what I'm trying to say is like the big guys uh, don't have that leverage anymore, like big broadcasters. So
No.
like you're
Well,
yeah.
yeah, they
What
have
were
more
you going to say
rules,
something?
right? Yeah, they have a lot more rules, so it's harder for them.
Yeah.
That, that's what's interesting.
Yeah. So like there's something called cheddar, which is basically what my boss is trying to copy. And that's the thing about
Okay.
Dubai. It's very easy to take a model from the States and just be
Hmm.
like, okay, we're going to try
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. We're gonna
Uh,
try that here. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
So there's cheddar, there's something called TYT, Turk something, and they're very small channel, but
Okay.
I think they're more, I don't know, I've heard on the news or whatever, more left wing, or I can't remember which,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
politics, I don't want to get
Okay.
into it,
Right.
but
Right.
it's actually happening where you get, that's the kind of the scary part, which is you can get extremists kind of taking this, making their OTT
Yeah.
platform, putting it on Twitch, putting it on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and getting those
Hmm.
their target audience.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think that's what that was the big issue with Facebook, and where Zuckerberg is, in court right now for. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting. I'm getting off the point again.
It's okay.
So let's try to rewind, or I'll just try to focus more now. What's the goals for your channel?
Oh, I don't know if I've really said any, to be honest. For me, it's I want to just keep doing things that I think are useful to other people and that I have fun doing. And that are
Yeah,
actually, so honestly, right now I'm just doing things that are useful for me. I've like the GoPro one, like I've used GoPros forever.
yeah,
And when I got this new one, I was just playing around with it and I was like, gosh, this looks
yeah.
so good. Like, I
It looks
wonder,
good.
is it as good as like an expensive camera?
I
That's kind of
you
where it came
almost
from.
made me
It's
buy
like,
one.
you know, yeah. And for me, what I try and do too is I think the downside to a lot of these bigger guys is all their stuff looks great, but it's like a lot of times multiple people. There's a lot of color grading,
Oh yeah,
other things going on. There's filters. There's all these additional things
for
that you
sure.
never see and often they don't talk about. So the stuff I've been
Matty has
doing,
his brother.
yeah, 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 and they do
Yeah,
tons of. There's a ton of they're using gimbals a lot of times. They're doing
exactly.
all sorts of other things. So
Yeah.
um, for me, when I'm looking at something like, is this really as good as this or whatever? I really just want to
Mm,
see it straight out of camera. What does this look like? And so that's
mm.
what I've done. I don't try and do any for like the talking head stuff. Yeah, I'm like color grading that, and whatever. But like
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the other stuff, I'm really just trying to compare it as best I can and as easiest as I can, because not everybody has three other people working full time for them,
Exactly,
and whatever else.
exactly.
So yeah, so that's it. That's why I just want to keep doing stuff like that for now, and see if it keeps working. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good leeway, because I was gonna ask you, like, do you use any like outsourcing? And why I asked that is because I basically tried to. So I have a my kids channel. So
Mm,
obviously, like a dad, like any dad, that also is why I started doing more video, because obviously I want to take more footage of
yeah,
my son.
sure. Yeah,
Um, that's why I really got into it as well. Anyway, 5 years in, and I was
yeah,
like, okay, let's do this whole. His name is Joaquin, so make a page, put all the stuff there, and it's come to a point where I was like, okay, I bought him a new Lego Mario, because my brother's really into Lego, so I was like, all right, let me buy some Lego Mario for my kid as well. And my brother's 40 years old, by the way. He's got he's
he still loves
psycho.
Legos.
He still loves Lego. He's got
It's
like,
good to stay young, you know.
yeah, yeah. He's got the Ninja Goes. I don't know if you heard of Ninja Goes, but they're like these huge sets. He's
Yeah, I
got,
do know what
uh,
that is. Yeah,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
and he's got all three of them. Just
Okay.
waiting there for him to like open, and I'm just like, dude, you're on another level. Anyway,
Yeah,
to my point, so I got him some Lego Mario. I'm like, okay, let me record. Put the FX3 on the tripod. Set up, got a background, all that, and I'm like, okay, this is good. I like it. And then I'm just like, I'm so tired to edit these. Like, I could be more
yeah,
enthusiastic about it, but I'm just like, do I really
yeah,
want to do this? Do I really
yeah,
want to edit these? Like, it takes time.
yeah. For
Um,
sure, it does. It really does. Yeah. And actually, that's kind of
so
why I'm a big advocate about trying to get things as quickly to look good as quickly as possible. Because,
right,
like I was just saying, like you don't see these videos take ridiculous amounts of hours to
yeah,
edit to make it look like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But a lot of people do it in such a way that it looks so good and it looks like carefree, like they did it without
yeah.
much
Like, yeah,
effort, which is
just
great if they can do that. But
put some
that's not
LUT.
reality, though. You know. Yeah,
So
right. Just slap a lot on it. It's
yeah, just slap a
it
LUT.
looks
Like,
good.
but that's the thing. When I saw your GoPro video, I was like, damn, that looks good. Number one, and then number two, you
It
did
does.
like
It actually really does.
you did like a background video where you showed your setup.
Hmm.
So you had like an
Yeah.
aperture thing going on. You had the whole setup, and I
Yeah.
was like, wow,
Yeah.
this looks really impressive.
Yeah.
And you
Well,
have 100
yeah.
subs,
So,
you know.
well, all that stuff I
So
have for my freelance stuff, but
yeah,
yeah,
all
no,
this
you know, that
stuff.
was part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
my
mean, that was
setup
part
as
of
well.
it.
This is
Like,
work. This is work. This is work.
yeah.
Putting a nice Godox light on me and
Yeah. Yeah.
FX3. FX3 is really
Yeah.
expensive. Uh,
It sure is. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So that's another
Yeah.
thing.
It
Like
is. Yeah.
a lot of people don't get, which is we invest a lot of money and time to get what
Hmm.
we want. That
Yeah.
something the audience doesn't really or cannot relate to.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I deal with that all the
so
time. Like in my job, like people are like, no, I just did a infomercial, a 30-minute
right.
infomercial, but they didn't want
Okay.
to pay anyone to film it, so I just edited it, and they shot it on an iPhone, the whole thing. Which
Okay.
the iPhone takes nice videos, but you have to know what you're doing to really get
Yeah.
good, usable video. Right, exactly. There's a lot of shakiness. There's a thumb that would occasionally appear in front of the lens. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people that don't know don't appreciate what goes into all this.
For sure. Um,
Yeah.
I actually did a shoot recently for Blaze Pizza,
Oh, nice.
and
I have
it
one around
was
the corner for me.
this could be
About
a thing.
100 feet from me, I have one.
This could be our thing. We
There you
like
go.
pizza podcast.
Yeah,
Um,
there you go.
hey, you want to do a podcast at 3 a.m. again? No, no
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Uh,
they're closed right now. Yeah, yeah.
okay, get it early. I'll get mine. You get yours. Like, whoa. No, let's not do that.
It's-
Um, so I had to do it without. So if you go into Dubai Mall, you basically need a permit, and it takes forever.
mm,
So we decided, let's just do it on the iPhone 12 or 11. I used the wide
mm,
angle,
mm.
no audio, whatever. Luckily, I was the videographer, so I knew like what shots I wanted.
Yeah, so you know, right? So you know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I can completely empathize with you if someone else was, taking the footage and you had to be
Yeah.
the one editing.
Hmm.
Not
Yeah,
good.
that's the tough
Not,
thing. Well, and that's like, going back to why I started the channel, a lot of the stuff I've done is like, I would never want anyone to see that I've edited that because it doesn't,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to
I've
say
done a
anything
lot of
bad,
crap
but
as
it's
well,
just, it's
so
not, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, yeah, like,
Yeah,
and I've done a lot of like internal uh, videos for businesses, trainings, things I can't show. So,
for sure.
you know, partly for me, it's things I want to be able to do for myself, but then also things I want to be able to show other people. So, you know, yeah, you almost have to do a one for you, one for me kind of thing. I feel like,
Yeah.
uh,
It's tough because, I'm guessing we're in the same boat in terms of, we're creative people. We want to do stuff with stories and make it cinematic. And for example,
yeah,
I watch
mm,
Dave Gerberts. I can't remember his name right now. He's a Sony FX3 guy,
okay.
but his work is ridiculous. Like, uh, is it Gerberts?
Oh,
Sorry, I'm
Danny,
taking time.
yeah, I know what you're
Danny.
talking about. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, so
hmm,
good.
the guy that he lives
So
in
good.
Hawaii. Yeah, he's really good. Hmm. And he's
Crazy.
pretty young too. He's pretty good for his age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
I when I see his work, I'm like, you know what? Why do I live? Like, like,
You know what I feel about that though? You can't. That happens to me too. You can't
okay,
like watch everybody and then just like
true.
be like, oh,
Yeah,
well, why do anything? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can't do that. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
um, it
That's what
happens
you.
to me too. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's social. What's the word to use? It's like when you see an Instagram post and you're like, you know, I could. I wish I could do. I could have done that, but it's
Hmm.
that's the tough part. Like, you're always looking at the good stuff, and then you don't really see what Danny or any
Yeah,
creator has to go
for
through
sure.
to get that. So yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, you don't see their first things that they did. That don't look so good. So
Exactly.
everybody starts at roughly the same place. So.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, more you could look at it as if you keep up with it, this is where you can go. So that's
yeah.
kind of, I think, the best way to look at it. It's
Cool.
like
So
goals, you know.
yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, that's my goal. Like, look, make
Yeah.
content like Danny, because man,
Hmm.
if I could do that, whew. Anyway,
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
try to get this flowing as quickly as possible, because I think I'm over your time. I don't want to do go crazy on this. So I'm gonna go with the next question. It's kind of like what we just talked about, but maybe we can just have a quick few sentences about it. Is this thing what you're doing only for YouTube, or is it to build your brand? Is it something you're looking to? I know you talked about, you're trying to get back to what you used to do and doing things that um, you like doing and testing things out. But is it something
Hmm.
kind of like, I guess, what Peter McKinnon has done with him as a brand, where you kind of like, you have your own pro filter stuff and
Yeah.
bag, and
That's,
I would love that. But
oh
hey, and
gosh,
if
he's,
anyone,
he's done quite a bit. It's pretty impressive.
he's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
another level. But
That
is that
is.
something you're
That
looking
is.
into, or is it more about just putting stuff out there for people to, uh, you know, view your content, like what you do, or just, yeah? What are you trying to?
Yeah.
get out of it?
For now, for me, it's just to do things for myself, and then some of the freelance work I am trying to get to be like, hey, look, if you want to see some other stuff I've done, here it is. That's not just here's another trash can. So that's
Yeah,
it for now. If in the future things get better, then maybe I don't know. But for right now, that's what it is.
yeah, cool. And the last question: where do you see the future for YouTube and your career as a creator?
Well, I mean, I think the last probably 3, 4, probably the last 4 years, I've been like, oh, it's kind of oversaturated. But I've said that every year for the
Mm.
last 4 years.
Yeah,
So I think I've been wrong
me
every year.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, so I think it's
might as
just going to
well.
continue. Yeah, I think it's just going
Yeah,
to keep going up.
yeah.
And I think a lot of people. It's interesting. I seem to know a lot of people now that watch YouTube more than television or
Oh, for
movies.
sure.
Like it's become
So
like their
true.
primary source of entertainment, which I would not have guessed that would have happened. So
True.
um, I think it's going to keep going that way. I honestly
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Uh, I definitely see YouTube just eventually. Uh, I mean, now everyone's talking about Netflix and
Yeah,
HBO Max and all that stuff. I
yeah,
do feel eventually YouTube's just gonna figure out a way to uh, be a OTT in
yeah,
some way or
yeah.
form.
I think so
Um,
for sure.
and what we just talked about, where uh, instead of having a website, you're literally going to your Brad's whatever YouTube OTT kind of thing. You have a bunch of shows, whatever. You'll have a podcast. You kind of like what MKBHD is doing. Uh,
Yeah,
he's got
he's an
the
entire brand as well.
he's
Like he's
he's
just a
a,
whole brand.
yeah, he's a
It
brand.
is.
That's it. He even like what Mr. Beast is doing. I don't know about like having different YouTube channels. Uh, I mean, if we get to that point, woohoo! But you know,
One is hard enough, right? Uh,
exactly. Uh, but yeah, I just can imagine different uh, TV shows in this case. Like in my case, I'll have cooking show with Richie, and as I said earlier, so it's going to be super
mhm.
interesting. But in terms of just being a content creator, are you going to on all platforms? Is that what you're thinking about, or you just want to stick with YouTube and that's it? I'm going to stick with YouTube.
I think it's probably smart to do more than one.
Okay.
But for right now, YouTube is all I have. But we'll see. I think if this grows a little bit more, I think I'll probably start doing other things.
Right.
I don't know what the second best would be right now because I know Instagram is getting a lot of like kind of flack right
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah.
I don't really know what the second best would be. I
Right.
know Facebook is going through a whole bunch of changes. Apparently, this is the
Mm.
last week. It will be called Facebook, I guess. So,
Yep.
um,
That's true.
so who
That's
knows what
true.
that will be?
Mm.
But yeah, I think it's probably best to diversify at some point. But I kind of want to get like a footing on one before I start going all over the place. It's hard enough for
True.
me just to do one right
Do
now,
one.
time
Yeah.
wise. Yeah.
It's so tough. I don't know how these other guys do it. Like
Mhm.
I honestly suck at Instagram. I hate
Yeah.
posting. Just and like YouTube Shorts is cool, but at the same time, for me,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
man, like how much do I need to post? And like you gotta do like content which is different for each platform, because whatever you post on YouTube might not necessarily
Yeah.
be something that people like on Instagram. Or so you're always, it's like I have to figure out what people like, which is actually wrong, because you should technically we should be doing stuff we want to be posting.
Right.
So it's
I think
it's
that
that.
I really do think that's the key. I
Yeah,
mean, there's
yeah,
there's a little bit of both there. I think you
yeah,
can't just do weird stuff that nobody would like. Um, but if you don't like it yourself, it'll never come
yeah,
across.
yeah,
So
true.
yeah, but
But
you're
it's
right.
it's
There's somewhere in the middle.
it's always frustrating for me sometimes because I'm like, oh man, I should post something, like let me put a
Hmm.
YouTube short today. But like
Hmm.
after you kind of like sink in and you don't really understand what you're doing, but subconsciously it just keeps happening, where I'm just thinking in my
Hmm.
head like, why am I thinking about that? Like, why is this so important? So
Hmm.
it's a tough thing for me because I do it every day for work. Like, I'm on socials because of work, and this is what pays
Whew.
me.
Yeah.
So
So, I
it's
mean, I
it's
think breaks are important. It can get real crazy if
yeah,
your whole life is a compass.
yeah,
So I get it that
yeah,
you would want to take a break from it, and I'm with you. Like I don't in my free time. I don't want to be. If this is work for you, you don't want to be doing work in your free time as well. So
exactly. That's
yeah.
the challenge, I think,
Hmm.
because I think most. I mean, you probably see the numbers, but if you're not tech savvy today or digital savvy,
Yeah.
you're probably not gonna have a high paying job. So,
It's tough for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the yin and yang. It's I don't know, it's crazy. But anyway, thank you so much for your time,
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Brad.
Thank you.
It,
Thank
it
you for inviting me.
it's it's just 50 minutes over the timing that I allocated,
It's okay.
but I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it. It was, this
I
is
did.
again
Yeah.
my first, live stream interview. Hopefully, people will see this, uh,
Yeah.
maybe get something out of it. You want to quickly tell people where they can find you on socials or
Yeah, I
anything?
guess right now all I have is the YouTube channel under my name, Brad Giannini, which you can see, I think, right there somewhere.
Yep, yep, yep.
And maybe more in the future, but that's it right now.
Cool. And last question: what's your next video about? Hints? Any
Uh, I
teasers?
actually am in the process of shooting it right now. And
Nice,
I actually took out this, so kind of like your FX3, I took this Sony
nice.
outside primarily at night. And I noticed
Oh,
there's a lot of differing opinions out there on what the best way to shoot at night is with these cameras. And
okay.
I think I got a good footing on it now. So that's what the next video is. So
Nice, nice, nice. Just
yeah.
just don't make me buy lenses, please, because I'm dying already.
No, this won't be for lenses. It's just for settings. Just for settings.
Okay, good, good, good.
Although
Like, I,
I do really like lenses. I own quite a few lenses, and I am going
yeah,
to do some lens stuff later on. I think so.
nice.
But yeah, I don't.
Okay,
I actually am in the camp of you don't have to spend a ton of money on lenses. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
like really cheap lenses, so that's good.
yeah. 15 minutes after this live stream, like, hey, I got my Amazon delivery. It's a 16 to 35,
That's,
2.8. Woohoo!
it's like a
Yeah,
$2,000 lens. Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean that's the other thing about, I guess, our world, which is story versus gear. They always say that, like, gas and, you know for me right now, I really think the FX3 works for me for what I do. uh, what makes the
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
A7S3?
it's a great camera.
Yeah, what makes you, like, why did you buy the A7S3
Yeah,
over
I
the
mean,
FX3?
well, I actually bought it before the FX3 even came out.
Okay,
So
okay, done.
yes,
I was looking for that crazy. I
hmm
was looking for some spice
yeah,
in that question, but
yeah.
no, it's
No,
fine. I get it.
honestly, I don't think I would. I probably would buy the FX3 now. The only big difference is this. Right, this is
The
not on the
viewfinder.
FX3, right? But I don't
Yeah,
use it,
yeah.
so I have it disabled. So honestly, for me, there's no
Okay,
difference. If you're more of a camera person, photo person, I can see having this just for the viewfinder, because I do think actually a lot of people say, oh, like the photos aren't very good on this, but I think they're actually really nice, to be honest. So even at 12 megapixels, I I've used this for photos quite a bit. Um, but yeah, I think both of these cameras, the FX3 and the A7S3, are great for video, identical for video virtually. Um, and I think I am going. So I have a couple other cameras right now, and I think I actually might sell one or two and get the Sony A4 to back this one up.
Ooh, okay.
So we'll see. That might be in the pipeline too.
Ah,
We'll see.
Christmas
Just because,
time.
mainly because when you're filming with a lot of different cameras, matching them is a real pain in the butt.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah,
I think it would be easy with that one and these
for
cameras.
sure.
So
Yeah.
we'll see. So I might have that
It's
one soon too. We'll see.
so Sony's killing everyone's pocket right now
Oh,
for
you know what
yeah.
kills me is, so I started off shooting Panasonic,
Mm,
and then I moved to, I had Nikon for a little while,
yeah.
and then Canon for quite a long time. And I loved Canon. I still do, but
Yeah.
I have all this glass. I have all these lenses from all these different
Right.
manufacturers, and it's such a pain in the butt. It's like you have to pick a lane, you know. Otherwise, you just
Yeah.
have all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's funny because you see some of these
you're right.
Canon
It kills your
guys.
pocket. That's for sure.
Yeah. 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 So they've got there was this one guy, I forgot his name. Peter McKinnon used to be a big Canon guy.
Yeah,
Even
yeah, he
Maddie
used to
and
be.
yeah,
Yeah, he did
most
too.
of these
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. And he
So
uses Sony now too.
yeah, I just came
A lot
in
of those
late.
guys get their stuff for free though, so they're
Yeah,
allowed to.
hey guys, do you know anyone in Dubai who distributes Sony? Like
Sure.
anyway,
Have you
uh,
noticed that it seems like people in Canada really they get a lot from both
yeah,
Canon and Sony. I'm
yeah,
not totally sure why, but there's a lot of famous uh, people
people,
in Canada,
yeah,
specifically Toronto. I've noticed too.
yeah.
Um,
There's that the guy who got huge with all the video. Sorry, all the food and the the tabletop
yeah,
videos.
Daniel Schiffer. Yeah,
Yeah, whew,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
guy. Oh my
he's really good.
gosh,
He's really good. Yeah,
ridiculous.
he's in Toronto maybe, or he's in Canada. Maddie's in
Yeah,
Canada. Peter McKinnon's in
yeah,
Canada.
yeah.
There's more and
All
more.
these guys.
I'm missing. Probably was in
Yeah,
Gerald Doug's in Canada. Yeah, all these guys. So
yeah.
um,
Insane.
yeah,
Uh, so yeah, I mean,
I'll have to make a trip.
let's see. Let's see. Maybe we're the next. The next generation. I doubt it, but we have a chance. We have a chance. There's
Yeah, we'll see.
you never know. I mean, look,
Yeah,
those guys put in the work. They put in like what 5, 10 years
yeah,
of their
for
life.
sure. Yeah, for
So
sure. Yeah,
uh, it's literally just about grinding it out and
yeah.
I'm glad I've had the chance and opportunity to interview you. I hope that
Yeah,
we could
this was
probably do
nice.
this
Yeah, let's do it again.
let's do it again 6 months, a year, you never know. Let's keep in touch. It's awesome. And I'm gonna end it now because it's almost an hour, and yeah, I spent way too much time,
Okay.
and yeah, that's about it. But thank you so much, Brad. uh, I'll speak to you after this.
Thank you.
Take care, bro.
All right. Sounds good.